we interrupt regular scheduled programming for this important update.
As many of you already know, Edmonton firefighters have joined the emergency response efforts in Fort McMurray. We are now here at Morin number 23 fire station in Edmonton to talk with our very own Shaw TV's Doug Roxburgh about his experience fleeing the city. Doug, let's start at the beginning. We're going to take a look at a shot of you doing a stand-up right now when things were still very safe feeling.
Yeah, they were actually pretty safe at that time. We were just shooting our show like we normally do. We figured we'd get the best visual. And actually, as we were shooting it, we saw the flames come over top of the mountain, and a couple of explosions later. Next thing you know, within a couple of minutes, we get a phone call saying we had to evacuate the area. We were in an area called Abasand, which unfortunately is, most of it's gone. And we had to evacuate there, and we basically fled to downtown where there's a press conference, which ended up being canceled, and we kept getting pushed north to the north end of town.
And at some point you were deciding whether to go north or south, ultimately coming south to Edmonton. You had to go back through the middle of Fort McMurray, and what did you see at that point?
Yeah, at about 6:30 we got the call where we had to evacuate the entire city because the flames were just pretty much everywhere. So they opened up the south lanes to go through the city, and honestly, Dana, I've never seen anything like it. It was so quiet, like not a sound except for the crackling of flames and flames on both sides of the highway.
You said driving was difficult because the smoke was so thick.
Yeah, like the smoke was already hard to breathe, and I mean, you see the air index today and it's astronomical. Smoke was everywhere, you could barely see. A couple of houses were burning on one side, the mountain burning on the other side. You know, the worst part is, I just keep thinking of the people that lost everything. I just can't believe that there's no harm, no casualties. But, just my friends, it's unreal.
The people that you did see and that you did speak to, what was the energy like? What were the emotions like?
Everyone, honestly, it was orderly. It was very calm for the most part. Obviously, you're an odd person, but for the most part, everyone was just trying to help each other. Cars were on the side of the road just kind of waiting and finding out, people on their phones just trying to get information and see what they could do. But it was just get out while you can because things were turning quickly.
We've been seeing a lot of photos and videos on social media of just how incredibly thick the smoke and the fires were. When you're watching this live in the moment and you're taking videos of it, what's going through your head?
Honestly, it was bad, and you're just feeling for everybody that's there, and you're just trying to show what's happening. It was, I don't know if people outside of Fort McMurray or even outside of Alberta can fathom how scary it was. It was honestly the scariest environment imaginable. It was bad, and it was turning quick because of the winds and how they just picked up the flames, and it just got out of control so fast.
And Doug, final thoughts on what it was like to get from there to Edmonton, driving through the night. What was that part like?
It was long. It took us about 9.5 hours. Cars on the side of the road out of gas. We're at Wandering River. Lineups as far as I could see for people just trying to fill up and keep going. It's just seeing all these people that need help and are waiting for help, and they're still waiting for help, and everyone's just trying to get to a safe place.
Thank you for speaking with us. Now for some important information on emergency response efforts. If you're trying to reunite with family or friends, call the Red Cross at 1-888-350-6070. Another way to keep track of loved ones is to use Facebook's Safety Check-In, which allows you to quickly find and connect with friends in the area and mark people safe if you know they're okay. More than 80,000 people are headed to evacuation zones, making it the largest fire evacuation in Alberta's history. Evacuees are being housed in northern work camps, and those headed south are being accommodated at the Bolt Centre in Lac La Biche. And here in Edmonton, approximately 20,000 people have entered the city. Northland says 1,300 people can be accommodated at the Expo Centre, with evacuees already arriving. Cameras aren't allowed inside, but beds, food, water, and other necessities are being provided. Local taxi companies are also offering free rides within the city limits to those affected by the crisis.
I'm feeling pretty good. I actually hitched 3 rides to get down here to Edmonton, and the people have just been awesome. It is obviously devastating. I have friends that have lost their homes right now, but they're on their way here, or most of them have already made their way down, so that's the main thing. But yeah, it was complete chaos on the highway last night, and like hundreds, thousands of cars in the ditch without fuel. And so I hear there's help on the way, and everyone here has been more than generous. So, and I've heard there's been no fatalities, so that's the most important thing right now.
The Edmonton Humane Society is also on site at Northlands to provide assistance with stressed animals. People can donate by texting Red Cross to 30333 or go to the Red Cross website at redcross.ca. At this point in time, the Red Cross is only accepting monetary donations. Check at 511 Alberta on Twitter for updates on road closings and restricted travel. May 4th is also International Firefighters Day. Thank you to all the men and women of service for their extraordinary commitment, courage, and selfless efforts today and every day.